We'll begin in Tadasana. Come to the center of your mat, bring your feet together. Spread the soles of your feet, press down into your feet, and then stretch up through your legs. Lift the sides of the waist up, lift the chest up, and roll the shoulders back and down. Straighten the arms. Baddanguliyasana, bound finger pose. Bring the fingers to interlace in front of your chest. Stretch the palms forward, and then extend the arms up overhead. Straighten the arms and spread the palms towards the ceiling. Bend the elbows and bring the hands back down. Change the cross of the fingers so that the opposite pinky is on bottom. Extend the arms back forward, palms forward, and then bring the arms up overhead. Tighten the elbows. Bend the arms and bring the hands back down. Next pose is Trikonasana, triangle pose. You'll need 2 blocks for this. Place them at the back edge of your mat and then come back to the center. Bring the fingertips to touch, bend the knees, and jump the feet 3 to 4 feet apart. Bring the hands to the waist. Turn the left leg and foot 90 degrees to the left and turn the back toes slightly in. Straighten the left arm up overhead and then hinge at the hip and bring the left hand to the block. You can adjust the placement of the block if you need to. See that that hand is right under the shoulder. Keep the legs firm and lengthen the sides of the waist up towards the head. Revolve the entire abdomen towards the ceiling. And then stretch your right arm up overhead so that the right palm is in line with the shoulder. Straight arms, straight legs, and then use that top arm to pull you back up to center. Bring the hands to the waist, parallel the feet. Turn the right leg 90 degrees to the right. Turn the left toes in slightly. Keep the legs straight. Bring the right arm up overhead. Get length in the right side body. And then hinge at the hip. Bring the right hand onto the block. Keep that length in both sides of your waist, especially the right side waist. With firm legs and lengthened side waist, turn the abdomen up towards the ceiling, and then bring the top arm straight up overhead, palm in line with the shoulder. Inhale to come up. Parallel the feet and step or jump the feet together. Our next pose is Virabhadrasana I. You can move your blocks off of your mat. Bring the feet together, bend the knees and jump the feet wide apart. Bring the hands to the waist. Turn the left leg and foot 90 degrees to the left and turn the right toes in slightly. Press into the right heel. Keep the right leg poker straight as you bend the left leg. Bring that left knee directly over the heel. Keep the back leg straight. Keep both hip bones lifting up, sides of the waist lift up, chest lifts up, and then extend the arms out to the side like a T. Tight arms, and then bring the gaze over the left hand. Straighten that left leg now, bring the hands to the waist, parallel the feet, and we'll do the other side. Turn the right leg 90 degrees. Turn the back toes in slightly. Press into the left heel. Keep the left knee tight as you bend the right leg. Bring the right knee directly over the heel. Keep bending, but don't let that back leg bend. Lift the sides of the waist up, chest up, arms out. Extend the elbows, and then bring the gaze over the right hand. Straighten that leg, parallel the feet, and step or jump the feet together. Parsvotannasana, extended side angle pose. Place your 2 bricks at the back edge of your mat on the high height, and then come to stand in the center of your mat a little bit in front of the blocks. Bring your fingertips together, bend the knees, jump the feet apart. Bring the hands to the waist. Turn the left leg and foot 90 degrees to the left and turn the right toes in slightly. Press into the right heel As you bend the left leg, bring the left knee directly over the heel. Keep that back leg poker straight. Lift the sides of the waist and the chest up. Bring the left arm straight up overhead. Find length in the left side body and then hinge at the hip. Bring the left hand to the block. Lengthen both sides of the waist towards the head. Turn the abdomen up towards the ceiling and bring the right arm straight up overhead, just like in Trikonasana. Now use the right arm to pull you back up to standing. Bring the hands to the waist and parallel the feet. Turn the right leg and foot 90 degrees to the right and turn the back toes in slightly. Press into the left heel as you bend the right leg. Bring the right knee over the heel and keep the left leg straight. Lengthen both sides of the waist up, chest up, and then bring the right arm straight up overhead. With an exhalation, hinge at the hip and bring the right hand to the block. Keep bending into the right leg. Lengthen the sides of the waist. Turn the abdomen towards the ceiling and bring the left arm straight up overhead. To come out, use your left arm to pull you back up to standing. Parallel the feet and step or jump the feet together. We'll do that pose one more time with the final arm variation. Start with your feet together. Bring the fingertips to touch in front of the chest. Bend the knees and jump the feet apart. Bring the hands to the waist. Turn the left leg and foot 90 degrees to the left. Turn the right toes in slightly. Keep the right leg poker straight as you bend the left leg, bringing the left knee directly over the heel. Keep pressing into that right heel. Keep the right knee lifted. Lengthen the sides of the waist, and then lift the left arm up overhead. With an exhalation, bring the left hand to the block. Keep the sides of the waist long as you extend the right arm in front of you and then in line with the ear. The right palm faces the floor. Keep pressing into the right heel. Right leg is tight, and extend all the way up through the right fingertips. On your next inhalation, use the right arm to pull you back up to standing. Straighten the left leg. Parallel the feet and bring the hands to the waist. Turn the right leg and foot 90 degrees to the right. Turn the left toes in slightly. Press into the left heel and straighten the left leg. As you bend the right leg, bring the right knee directly over the heel. See that it doesn't collapse inwards, but that it stays right over the heel. Lengthen the sides of the waist and the chest up. Extend the right arm straight up overhead. On an exhalation, bring the right hand to the block. Lengthen the sides of the waist, and now extend the left arm straight up in line with the ear. Palm faces the floor. Press into the left heel and stretch all the way up to the left fingertips. With an inhalation, use the left arm to pull you back up to standing. Parallel the feet, and step or jump the feet together. Virabhadrasana I, Warrior I. Move your blocks off of your mat and set them aside. Come to the middle of your mat, bring your feet together. Fingertips to touch, bend the knees, and jump the feet 3 to 4 feet apart. Bring the hands to the waist. Turn the left leg and foot 90 degrees to the left and turn the right toes in about 30 degrees. Turn the hips and the chest to face the left leg. Press into the right heel and lift the right kneecap up. Keep that leg straight. Lift the sides of the waist up, chest up, and now bend into the left leg. Bring the left knee directly over the heel. Keep pressing into the right heel. Keep that back leg straight. Lift the sides of the waist and the chest up. And now extend the arms straight up overhead. Tighten the elbows and see is it possible to bring the right rib cage any more forward. Now bring the hands back to the waist, straighten that leg, parallel the feet, and we'll do the other side. Turn the right leg and foot 90 degrees to the right. Back toes come in about 30 degrees, and then turn the hips and the chest to face the right leg. Press into the back heel, keep the back leg tight and the chest lifted as you bend the right leg, bringing the right knee directly over the heel. Lift the sides of the waist, lift the chest, And extend the arms straight up overhead. Tighten the elbows. To come out, bring the hands to the waist, straighten the right leg, parallel the feet, and step or jump the feet together. Parsvotannasana, intense stretch of the side body. Take your 2 blocks and place them on the left side of your mat, shoulder distance apart. Start in the center of your mat with your feet together. Bring the fingertips to touch in front of the chest, bend the knees, and jump the feet 3 to 4 feet apart. Bring the hands to the waist. Turn the left leg and foot 90 degrees out, and then turn the right toes in slightly. Turn the hips and the chest, just like you did in the last pose, except this time we're going to keep both legs straight. Firm the legs and hips. Lift the sides of the waist up. Lift the chest up. Roll the shoulders back and down. Keep this length as you hinge at the hips and bring the hands to the blocks. You can adjust the placement of the blocks so the hands are directly under the shoulders. Lift the chest to lengthen the sides of the waist forward. You want the back to be straight like a table. Keep the legs straight. Bring the hands to the waist and inhale to come up. Parallel the feet, step or jump the feet together. Move your blocks to the other side of the mat and come back to standing in the center. Bring the fingertips to touch. Bend the knees and jump the feet apart. Bring the hands to the waist. Turn the right leg and foot 90 degrees to the right and turn the left toes in slightly. Turn the hips and the chest. Firm legs and hips. Lift the sides of the waist and the chest up. Roll the shoulders back. Hinge at the hips. Bring the chest forward and bring the hands down to the blocks. Lift the chest to lengthen the sides of the waist forward. Keep the legs straight. Keep pressing into the back heel. Bring the hands to the waist. Inhale, come up. Parallel the feet and step or jump the feet together. Set your blocks off of your mat. We'll do Parsvotannasana one more time, but this time we'll fold forward. First, we'll take the arm position. Watch how I bend my arms behind me and reach for opposite elbows. If this is too much of a strain on the shoulders, catch hold of the wrists. Whatever arm position you take, it's important that you keep the shoulders rolling back and in their sockets. So take your arm position and then begin with your feet together in the center of your mat. Bend the knees and jump the feet 3 to 4 feet apart. Turn the left leg and foot 90 degrees to the left and turn the right toes in about 30 degrees. Turn the hips and the chest to face the left leg. Straighten both legs. Press into your back heel and your front big toe mound for stability. Lengthen the sides of your waist up. Lift the chest and roll the shoulders back into their sockets. Maintain this lift and this length as you hinge at the hips. Keep the sides of the waist lengthening forward and then hinge all the way down. Allow the spine to round, but keep the sides of the trunk long. Keep the legs and hips firm as you inhale to come up. Parallel the feet. And now change the cross of your arms. So bring the opposite elbow to face the wall behind you or grab the opposite wrist. Turn the right leg and toes 90 degrees to the right and turn the left toes in about 30 degrees. Turn the hips and the chest. Press into your back heel and your front big toe mound. Lift the sides of the waist and the chest, and then hinge forward. Keep the legs firm. Allow the spine to round, but don't lose the length in the sides of the waist. Firm legs and hips as you inhale to come up. Parallel the feet to the front. Release the arms, and step or jump the feet together. Prasarita Padotannasana, wide-legged standing pose. Take your 2 blocks and place them in front of your mat, shoulder distance apart. Come to standing with your feet together in Tadasana. Bring your fingertips in front of the chest, bend the knees, and jump the feet wide apart. Bring the hands to the waist. Look at your feet and see that the heels are in line with one another. And see that the toes point straight forward, so the outer borders of your feet parallel the outer borders of your mat. Firm the legs, lift the thighs up, lift the sides of the waist up, lift the chest up. Hinge at the hips and bring the hands to the blocks. If it's easy to keep the spine straight, you can lower the blocks or maybe bring the hands to the floor. Arms and legs are straight. Spread the soles of the feet and press evenly into the feet. See that the hips are in line with the heels. Press the thighs back and lengthen the sides of the waist forward. To come out, heel-toe the feet a little bit closer together, and then bring the hands to the waist and inhale to come up. Next, we'll do Uttanasana, forward fold. You'll keep your blocks just how they are, shoulder distance apart. Begin with your feet hips distance apart. Toes point straight forward. See that the outer borders of the feet parallel the outer borders of the mat. Firm legs. Lift the thighs up. Lift the sides of the waist and the chest up. Maintain this length as you hinge at the hips and bring the hands to the blocks. Keep the legs straight. See that the hips are directly over the heels. Press the thighs back and lift the chest to lengthen the sides of the waist forward. From here, we'll fold forward. Let the elbows bend away from each other. Let the sides of the waist release down. If the blocks are in your way, you can lower them or move them if your hands come to the floor. The weight should be evenly distributed over the arches of your feet. Keep the legs straight. Keep spreading the backs of the thighs and stretching the buttock bones up towards the ceiling, while the sides of the waist release down. To come up, firm the legs, bring the hands to the waist, and inhale all the way up. Move your blocks off your mat for Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. You'll begin on your hands and knees. If your knees are tender, you can place a blanket under them. Begin with your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, and your feet in line with your hands. Spread your palms and your fingers well. Tuck your toes under. Press into your hands and feet and lift your hips up high. Straighten the arms and legs. Press into your palms and stretch the outer edges of the armpits to help you get your hips up higher. Move the thighs towards the wall behind you and spread the backs of the legs. Press the heels down, but keep the buttock lifting. To come out, bend the legs and bring the knees back to the mat. Untuck the toes. Bring the knees apart and bring the big toes to touch behind you. And now sit back on your heels, stretching the arms forward. If the forehead doesn't touch the mat, you can place a folded blanket under the forehead. This is Adho Mukha Virabhadrasana, child's pose. Just rest here for another breath, and then walk the hands back up. Janu Sirsasana, head to knee pose. You'll need at least one blanket to sit on and possibly a strap if you have trouble touching the toes. Begin seated on the edge of your blanket with your legs stretched straight out in front of you. Adjust the flesh of your thighs and buttocks out to the side and back. Roll your thighs in and press the thighs into the floor. With your right hand, catch hold of the inner right knee and bend the right leg out to the side. Bring the sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh. If you have any knee pain in the right leg, you can place a folded blanket underneath the knee. Bring the back of the right hand to press against the back of the knee and use the left hand next to your left side like a kickstand. As you inhale, grow taller, and as you exhale, see if it's possible to revolve the abdomen more towards the straight leg. Lengthen the sides of the waist up. And now extend both arms straight up overhead. Yet lengthen the side body and then hinge forward. Grab hold of the foot or use your strap around the big toe mound. Straighten your arms and move the spine in. Lift the chest to lengthen the sides of the waist. And now bend your elbows and bring the trunk forward. Keep pressing the left thigh down into the floor as the sides of your waist come forward towards your foot. Straighten the arms now. Lift the chest back up. Bring the arms straight back overhead. And then exhale, bring the arms down. Use the right hand behind the knee to lift the leg back up and straighten that leg. Now we'll do the other side. Adjust the flesh of the thighs and buttocks out. Use the left hand to the inner left knee and bend that leg. Bring the left foot into the right thigh. Place the right hand next to your side and place the back of the left hand against the back of the left knee. Keep pressing the right thigh into the floor. As you inhale, lengthen the sides of the waist up towards your head, and as you exhale, revolve the abdomen towards the right. Keep lifting the sides of the waist, and now extend both arms straight up overhead. Hinge forward at the hip and bring the hands to clasp either the foot or your strap. Straighten your arms and lift the chest. Press the right thigh down into the floor and move the spine in. Create more space in the side body by lifting the chest. Bend your elbows out to the side and use your arms like a lever to help pull you forward. Keep the elbows lifted and keep that right thigh pressing down. Sides of the waist releasing forward. Now straighten the arms, lift the chest back up, extend the arms up overhead, and then bring the arms down. Use the left hand behind the left knee to bring that leg back to center, and then straighten. Paschimottanasana, intense stretch of the west side of the body. Adjust the flesh of the thighs and buttocks back and out to the side. Roll the thighs in and press the thighs towards the floor. Toes point up. Use your fingertips next to your side to help you lift the sides of the waist and chest up. And now extend both arms straight up overhead. Lengthen the sides of the waist and then hinge forward at the hips. Catch hold of the feet or use your strap. Press the thighs down. Straighten the arms and roll the upper arms in to help you lift the chest. Move the spine in and lengthen the sides of the waist up towards the head. Maintain this lift and length as you bend the elbows out to the side. Again, use your arms like a lever, just like you did in the last pose, to pull the trunk forward. Keep the thighs pressing down. Keep the elbows lifted and keep moving the sides of the waist towards your toes. Let the head and the neck release. And now straighten the elbows, lift the chest back up, extend the arms up overhead, and bring the arms down. Savasana is our final resting pose. You'll recline onto your back. You can use a blanket for your head if you'd like. One at a time, straighten your legs. And make any adjustments that you need to be comfortable. If there are any props in your way, just move them out of the way. If you have any achiness in your low back, you can roll a blanket and place it under the back of your thighs. Allow the eyes to close and begin to relax the legs and the arms. Let the abdomen soften. See that the back of the neck is long and soft. Release the muscles around the face. See that the skin around the eyes and the eyebrows is softening. Let the jaw and the tongue release. And for a few breaths, see is it possible to stick with the breath as it moves through the nose. The mind will want to wander, but try to keep the mind fixed on the inhalation and the exhalation for just a few cycles of breath. One at a time, bend your legs and bring the feet to rest on the floor. Stretch the right arm up overhead, let it rest on the floor behind you, and roll to the right side. Use your arms to press you back up to seated. Namaste.